Perfect. Excellent. Welcome in, everyone. Welcome in, welcome in. Let's go through the colors that we're going to go through today, just right off the bat. You can tell what I've already done to my canvas. I have some Liquitex black gesso that we put on and we let dry completely. Then we covered with Bob Ross liquid clear, or linseed oil is a good replacement for it. Then we wiped that off with a paper towel. Then we put our liquid white in the white area. And now we'll go through all the colors that we have on our canvas. So we're going to use a little bit of our cadmium yellow, Indian yellow, yellow ochre, Van Dyke brown, dark sienna, probably some phthalo blue, a little of our alizarin crimson, midnight black, and then of course titanium white. You gotta have them all, and you want to make sure that your canvas is wet before we even start. So let's get out here with our brightest of bright yellow colors. A little cad yellow. Oh, it's gorgeous. Throw some of it out here. We don't need to even get all the way down. The majority of our base is going to be covered, but we want to have a little bit of color out there. All right, we might start picking up our sunset maybe right in here and perhaps right about there. So everywhere else we really don't care about underneath. A little bit more of our Indian yellow, just so it blends in. You can see the two differences in color in those yellows right there. And then if we go into our yellow ochre, it's even a deeper, darker, more of a duskier, sandier yellow. We just love it. Oh, just love that color. Now, the more that you have out there, the more dark and vibrant it's going to be. And the liquid white that's on our canvas is continually blending and blending and blending with whatever color that we put on there. It's going to be blended with our liquid white. So that's why it continues to get lighter and lighter and lighter as you work your way away from wherever you put your paint on. And don't worry about what it looks like out there, because we're going to go back and blend it later. Let's go right into our crimson, and it's just a Bob Ross crimson. All right, a little bit on here, and watch, it'll get lighter and lighter in color as you work away from that dark spot where we put it on. That's exactly what we want that liquid white to do. It's doing exactly what we need it to do, right? Let's get out here too. Let's go a little of our Van Dyke brown, the deeper and darker of the browns. And you're like, Josh, don't you dare put that brown into that gorgeous yellowy sky. And I'm about to tell you, as soon as I get these little bits of skin out of there, I'm about to tell you, we're going to do it. We're going to take that deep dark brown. We're going to let it work down. I'll bring our top corner up here. This is going to be a desert scene. We haven't done a desert scene for a long time. So, out where I used to live in Vegas, we used to get some dusky desert sunsets. A little bit of our deep dark brown, right? Oh, that's going to look fantastic. Maybe just a touch of black. One little small little bit of black, just because we want it to stay dark, especially out here. It's going to get deeper and darker away from the sun. Now, look at that brush. We can't very well go back and blend all this color out with just the color that's on this brush right here. So, let's wash it off. And how we wash it, someone said you do this off screen, you're very true. We dip it into our odorless mineral spirits. Now keep in mind, the level of the spirits in this case is right here. So even though it looks like I'm dunking my whole brush into it, we're only going down to the level, just barely dipping in the smallest bit, pulling it up and spinning it so you can retain all that spray that gets thrown around inside. That way we're saving more of the thinner and not flicking it all away. Now, after you've spun it, right, there's no more wetness that will fall out of the brush, but it is very, very wet, right? So you don't want to go back up here and start painting with it. We want to throw it, flick it, however you do it. I always tend to like flick it like you're flipping somebody with a towel. You know what I mean? And just whipping them with the towel. That's how I get that stuff to come out. And then you go into your beater bucket, and in my case, the beater bucket looks a little bit like this. It's really full and really foul, right? It's a 5-gallon bucket. It's got a golf ball basket down in the bottom of it, and it's so full too. Oh, yeah. I put the lid back on it. Whenever we're not beating the brush, we put the lid back on so that stuff doesn't float up into our lungs, right? Man, that thing's more full than I thought it was. I haven't picked it up in a long time. All right, let's grab our 2-inch brush. Let's use a brand new spanking one since we've just got it in the mail, even though it's already splattered and covered in paint. We'll come up into our lightest area first, and we'll start to crisscross. Right, crisscross it out here. Don't worry about going over your dark kind of section right here. That's okay. We just don't want it to get too far back around its backside. That's why we're on the black sort of that canvas, so we can keep that color and it doesn't get too bright. We want it to stay very dark. You can see we've come up into our lighter color, then into our Indian yellow, then into our yellow ochre, and then we'll grab some of our crimson, and we'll start working all this stuff downwards, right? You get some of that darkness on your brush, you can start to work it down. You don't want to start at the top though, let me tell you. The paint will grow way further than you think, right? That instant little blend and that dark space went totally away. We can continually work it in here until you can't really tell where one color starts and one color stops. The more you blend it, the more you mix it up. Very soft little ombre. Now let's take some of this darkness, and I'm going to show you with your pressure how far you can get it to stretch and push it out way deep into the outfield. All right, then we'll start to work it in right along that lighter spot. We can work it and work it and work it and work it and work it. And the more that you push it, the more it's going to start to dull that sky, spread out, and just look fantastic. Did you think it was going to look that good afterwards? Of course you didn't, right? That's the trick. Little blendies, little pushing here. Take the paint, slide it from one direction to the other, right? Have a little bit more of that color drag out into that darkness. Now start all the way from your edge of your canvas though, let me tell you. Cool little things you can get happening out in your sky, just depending on your pressure, the amount of paint that's on the brush, and of course, practice. Mix it, mix it, mix it. Now we don't want to get too far back into that back corner. We want to save it, let it stay dark. Look at that sky out there, you guys. Guys, gals, and green pals. Now, I know I want to have like a little, like a deserty style bluff right here. You know what I mean? Like a thing, like a flat top mesa looking thing that's going to fall off and then blend in, and then we can pop some new foreground in front of it. But what do we want our clouds to look like in the background? What if we got a bit of our purple, our dioxazine purple? A bit of our purpley color. And let's say we just threw in some crazy little, soft little things floating through the sky way up there. Right? We're going to do it exactly the same as we would as if it was white. We're going to grab it and mix it down, in this case from its darkest point, and let it get brighter and brighter and brighter as it mixes with all those other colors. A soft little bit of background shadowy cloud off in the distance, right? Let's change brushes. We'll go over here to our white. Again, we don't want to cover too much area that we'll have to then fight over when we're putting our bluff. So let's not do too much. Maybe underneath that little bit of brightness or darkness, right? Got a little touch of our white, which we can then take and blend it up into that shadow. Little things, mixing it about. If we didn't like it, we could literally blend it all away, right? A little touch back there. Ooh, I like that, guys. One more little bit. Just the white right up here, just so I can blend it down over that shadowy piece. Right? If all of our light is coming down, it's going to be lighting up our clouds from above. And what if we put a little bit more shadow in there too? Blended that guy down, just because you can. You can do whatever you want up here, honestly. Seriously. Maybe you wanted to hold a little section from that little section, right? Back it, back it, back it. Mix it up. All you gotta do is push on it and blend it about however you like. You get these cool little things out there, right? Now, I very much like that purpley color. Let's pop it in over here as well. It's a dioxazine purple. It's from Gamblin 1980. We'll pop in a new little section. Maybe we'll leave this guy nice and shadowy. Just a little silhouette of a cloud. That purple against the pink. I'm telling you, if I'm not telling you, I'm telling you again. We need to have a little bit lower though as well. Maybe we got a further away one, not so big, right? Not so giant at the front. We can take him, spread him out. Remember, we're gonna have this bluff right here, taking up all this space. So we don't necessarily need all these guys to shine through. Maybe they won't show at all, especially these ones at the bottom. Maybe they'll all get covered. But if they don't, we wanna have them out there before we need to put them out there, right? Cool, soft little sky, I like that one. Guys, I like it. I'll pop in a little bit of brightness. Oh, just a touch. A little small little bit. Mix that. Gotta make the noises, otherwise it doesn't work. Hey, soft little thing out there in the night. Right? We'll come out here and let's take our palette knife. I know a lot of people don't like this thing. I agree. You struggle with it, right? I struggled with it in the beginning. You're very unsure of how to hold it and how to use it and how to make anything with it, right? Even how to spread out your paints and blend and mix your stuff with it, right? That's what we're here to show you. We're going to take our 3 favorite dark colors that we like to use in order to create some far off shadowy mountain or some trees or whatever, right? Mix all that stuff up. It's fantastic. Let's get a little bit of our 2 brown colors as well. We're going to mix that in here to the bottom half of our pile. Yes, because a lot of times you're never going to use your whole pile. Right, so we'll mix up our browns into our plaque, turning the angle of our knife, scraping it away, right? And then we're flattening it out, mixing all those colors together. And then we can literally flatten it like we're steamrolling it, like we're rolling some dough out here. Get it real flat, and then just remove a whole section. So you can see through it right there. You can see through the little square. Oh, it's amazing. Now, let's come up here. Take this bit of darkness, and let's start making a little flat top. It falls down, right? Not everything's got to be so perfectly straight. Maybe there was a little gouge on the side. Maybe it stood up a little bit. Maybe it's like Monument Valley out here. These little guys, just by shaking the knife up and down, right? Revealing these little things, covering in everything below. So basically, putting our full amount of our pressure, pulling it down, just like we do with our, when we're trying to scrape away what we want our cabin to look like. Very far away little bit. Stuff happening out here. Maybe this guy starts getting a little fatter down the side, and it rolls over down here and drops off. Not everything is going to be the most perfect thing, right? Now imagine, we don't need a whole huge amount of paint onto our canvas right here because it's going to spread like crazy, and we all know that. We know it's going to spread on us, and nobody likes that, guys. Almost looks like the Tower of Barad-dûr. We're going to come out here and go down, right? A little bit of an angle, start to flatten this guy out. That way when we come back in and put our darkness back over that bit of faraway land, it's going to make it look really cool. It's almost like a Devil's Peak or a Devil's Tower type of thing. I'm thinking of Dante's Peak. There we go. You can see right there, you got your horizontal lines. They're starting a little bit sooner and ending a little bit further away. That's creating more depth and distance for us back here. Right? Very sharp, straight up bits of our mesa top. Right? All depends on where we take that excess paint and spread it out. Right? We get to decide where our little shadows are. We know we're going to have to eventually pull it the other way. So one time, let's go off of this guy, pull it right down like that. Right? Now we've got this far away bit of thing living on some land out in our soft pinky sky of a desert. And tell me it doesn't look fantastic. Oh, I just love that sky. That's a fantastic sky, you guys. I'm digging it. I'm digging it. Thanks, Tyler Bradford. Over here, over there. Now, we've got to make one side, right? Let's say this is our brighter side over here because we can see a bit more. Let's take a little bit more paint and we'll put it on our darker side. We'll just put it about halfway. Right, take this guy, slide it out, just kind of work some more of that darkness in. All the while, the color is trying to intermix with the liquid white that's down here still. Right? That light color, the yellow that we put underneath there, the whole time it's trying to intermix with all of that stuff. Drag our little mountain right up the side. Just with our brush strokes, we've now told a story about where this little guy lives out here in the night. Oh, I like him. All right, let's get in with the palette knife. We'll go over here. We got to grab up some of our browns, both plural. Over here, little scrape of white, just a small little bit. We're only going to really light them up with this light color brown. On the one side, we'll use this dark color brown as our shadowy bit. So in fact, let's grab the dark brown first. And literally start to just very lightly pull straight down on it, depositing a little bit of texture, right? Everybody needs a little texture in their life. Wherever you think there might be a shadow, just based off of your little brush strokes, right? Wherever you think. It doesn't necessarily have to be there. You don't have to have all the textury stuff there, but you can already see it makes it look that much more 3D when you add those darker bits in there. The deep darkness. It's just a little bit of that heavy, thick, textury paint that's going to stand out, right? You can even create little shadowy ridges and stuff along these edges, right, where we think they might be. And I can see a little shadow right there. Why not? Why not make it a little bit deeper, a little darker, a little bit more realistic by adding a little darkness inside? Oh, it's fantastic. Okay, let's get out here. Grab up a little bit of our bright brownish colors. We're going to start to dangle down. You can see they're not overly too bright. I don't want them to be, bright yellow. We're not trying to have it stand out like crazy. We just want to have a bit of texture. Same as our darkness, just a little bit brighter. It doesn't have to be the brightest thing you've ever seen out there in the day. A little bit of it out here, in between our little shadowy spots. Get those little lighter areas, and all of a sudden, isn't it looking more 3D? Is it not, or am I the crazy one? Am I the crazy one, or is it you guys? Because I don't know. Need to mix up one more little bit of our shadowy, or our highlighty color. Let's come down here. Bang. There. Start pulling out that light color onto the other side, and then once we hit it with our brush and soften it down, it's going to change a little bit. It's going to turn into more sandy goodness. Now let's take some more of that dark shadowy mix and bring it out here. Because again, we're going to want it to change, and we're going to want it to get close. Our goal is to get close enough to our next little ridge right here, right, that we can soften it down and then project some new dark color in front of that, creating a little bit more mist, more distance. Isn't that fantastic? Isn't that just fabulous? All right, let's grab our, let's get a 2-inch brush. Let's get the old PaintWithJosh 2-inch brush. That was like a flip and a half skis. since the Olympics are around. All right, down very lightly, over to the side, very, very light touch. Right? So softly. We're just trying to take away just a hair of that texture, especially down around the bottom. We need it to be softer down here so we can then apply more heavy paint. Right? We came down and away this way, so we're going to go to the side and up very lightly, not trying to disturb much, right? Not really trying to drag anything, little things off in the night, right? Now we've got to go in and make a bunch of mist. Okay, now I'm going to switch to the 1-inch brush because it's going to leave less of a misty spot that we then have to cover. Remember, our rock comes way up into here. So that's where we've got to make our mist, right? You can even take it and brush it out and have it become a little softer. Right? As long as we're mixing it up, we're misting it, where we can almost not really tell what's happening back there, and then popping in with a new little section of dark color, I'm telling you, is exactly what's going to make your painting start to sell, guys. That's what it is, that illusion of distance. Like old Uncle Bob used to say, and I can call him Uncle Bob because he was my grandpa's cousin. Believe it or believe it not, he was out here. Mix that guy up just very softly along the edge, right? And we're not trying to get too much of our bright color to fall down into here, because we're now going to scrape and scrap all that lighter brown color that we had used, right, where we'd mixed in the 2 browns with our plaque mix. Scrap that whole color right there. Come in with a little bit of our straight up plaque, our 3 favorite colors that we like to use. Pull down, removing the paint from our little pile. You can see how it cuts like a square right in there. And now, say we came up, grabbed along this guy, and started rotating down, and if we can get our dark color to pop up in to that light misty color, right, it's going to make this guy look like he's oh so much closer than our other little bits off in the distance, right? We can project little things wherever we want them to be, just mushing it on, popping it in little places, having that darkness just to the back, right? The more that you put on there, the harder it's going to be to do anything, right? So don't get crazy just yet. We're going to take a little bit of our dark, pile it on, just literally smushing it, mushing it, putting it wherever we've got to put it. There we go. A little flat top up there. Oh, I like it. I like him, guys. Now, we got to come in with our brush and at least very lightly hit the front side of this guy and start to shape what we want it to look like, right? Oh, it's cool. It's almost like you can just walk up here, see what's happening on the top of the old mesa. So let's grab the 1-inch brush. And, of course, we got to use the PaintWithJosh 1-inch brush. You guys already know. Remember, guys, I might just be sending this one in to the Diamond Art Club guys to see if they can turn this one into a kit. If you don't know what we're talking about, we have Diamond Art Club kits available. They're out on their site, diamondartclub.com. They're amazing. I'm so super proud and happy to have partnered with them and to bring you guys some really awesome PaintWithJosh paintings in diamond art form. Really super cool little way that you can literally take you know, 100,000 little diamonds and turn it into one of Paint with Josh's paintings. It's so cool. So cool, guys. And over here, this guy over there, right? I'm debating, I want to have a big crack in the land, right? Like a chasm. That's like something you'd have to jump over. So I'm debating whether or not to keep going with the mountain or whether we should just go back and highlight it, and then we can decide what we want to do from there, right? So we can literally use the same two brown colors. We're not going to grab them in equal amounts because it's literally impossible to grab them at random and then grab them at random again and have them both be exactly the same as it was before. Okay? If you want a little bit of a change, grab a little of your yellow ochre, put that guy down in there, grab a little bit of our white and put that in there, right? Very small amounts. Let's scoop this little pancake mix up and start to drop it down. The more that we mix it up, the more they're all gonna go the same. So you kind of gotta look and go, okay, there's some marbling color in there. That's what we wanna have. We don't wanna have it all be exactly perfect. So let's imagine maybe just a little touch of it starts covering over our little bit of darkness, just by very lightly grabbing our darker paint that's already up there that we mushed on. Right? We're kind of gripping and grabbing onto that until there's nothing left on our knife. And then we go back, we scrape up a little bit more, and we keep going. How far do you want it to roll down in your eyes? How far does the light reach around to the backside? Right? You gotta have some shadows back here. Not everything can be just as bright and gorgeous as everything else. And don't cover all this stuff, guys. I'm telling you, if I've not told you once, I've told you 1,000 times, don't cover all the dark. You have to have that dark color in there. All these spots of deep darkness are going to help us. I'm telling you, there's my chasm right in here. I can see it. If we come down to this guy, right, drag it out, little cracks and stuff like this, and then we can drop down some of this paint just by literally scraping down very lightly. Just getting a little thin. We don't need it to be as bright as everything else. And then we can come in at it from a different angle with a new bit of brightness, saving some of that darkness, and you'll have your chasm out there in the night. Let's take this guy, slide him back like he's just desert sand. Just some desert sand, maybe leading back to a cave that nobody knows even exists back here. Woo, baby, I like that. Pull this guy down a little bit more. Just dragging it so our colors kind of extend. You can turn the brush vertical. Pull it down, pull it down, pull it down. So you get all these cool little things that are happening out here, right? Now, we've got to decide with perhaps our knife, or perhaps we could rock in some sand off of this other side. We could have a dry side and then a wet side with the sand. But you'd have to come creeping in, and we're going to do it. And we're going to pull all that paint backwards to the side, guys. Gosh, it just looks so cool already. Isn't that the neatest thing? Can't you just literally do the coolest things, guys? Remember, if you want this one, head over to PaintWithJosh.com. It's probably not the very first thing you're going to see because I don't think I put it up on the homepage. London, if you're watching, London, I need your help. London! Is London here, guys? Can someone send a message to London and say, can you please add 1415 to the homepage for Josh, please? He's currently live and forgot to do it. And she'll be like, yeah, he does that all the time. Get out here. Oh, perfect. All right. We got our far away little bit, right? We even could start coming in. I need to have, you just got to be brave, Josh. Just be brave. Start throwing color out here, right? Dipping it down, staying into the dark spots. Right, those chasmous bits, and then with all this extra paint, this guy, we're gonna slide off in the other direction. Sliding it, and it's gotta get thinner and thinner and thinner as it gets to the corner, right? Eventually, you reach the spot where it opens up, and that spot is very thin. And then it gets wider and wider and wider. There we go, Josh, look at that. Did I not say? Didn't I say? I said, didn't I? Told you. Didn't I tell you it was going to look like that? Just guessing. But I told you it was going to look like that. Let's come down. Let's skirt out a little bit more, right? Leave a little edge. Down again. Skirt it over again. Now we'll pull those little sections back with our brush, leaving that sharp edge right out here. Not going to touch the bottom of it. dragging it in, dragging all this guy off the back. You can even see another crack has started to form in the desert. Now, our question to ourselves is, do we fill in that little crack, right? Or do you leave it looking like that where it's more open, right? It looks like it's getting bigger, it's getting wider. Man, it's getting harder to cross to Mac's Hidden Cave back here. Very cool. I can't wait to throw some sand on this guy, you guys. All right, now, again, we've got to throw something back here. Let's get a little bit of our color. Right, a little bit more back in the chasm of stuff, just so we can brush it out and it'll have a little bit brighter stuff back here. Okay? Not everything's got to be perfect, of course, but just so it'll be a bit brighter. Pull some of that color down, blend it in, drag it off, pull it up to the edge of our little chasm, drag it back. You can always go back. You can do it with your brush. Add a little bit right there. Right, wherever we think we need a bit of brightness, you can always go back and add it. Doesn't have to be perfect off of our palette knife, that's for sure. Right up to the edge. All of a sudden we're getting this really cool little flat plateau that we can start throwing some sand on, you guys. You guys know my awesome little sand technique with the beach scenes and stuff is gonna look really cool as a as some desert sand. Ah, fabulous. All right, before we get too far ahead, actually we might as well just finish. Might as well just finish this guy right here. Let's come back again. Streak out. Lots of paint right here. Right? Lots of paint, lots of paint. And that way, when we're dragging it out, it should be pretty bright. Probably the brightest part of it, closest to us. Alright, off the bottom. Drag it away. And I intend on having something over here anyway, but the more that you mix it, the more and more and more it starts to look the same. Oh, man. Oh, I like it. This guy's gonna come out a bit more though. There we go. Just a little craziness. I never like it to just be so perfect. There we go. That's better. That's better in my brain. Dragging it off. That little chasm out there. A lot bigger where it's closer to us, right? A lot smaller where it's way off in the distance. Way out here, it gets very skinny. Out here, it gets very wide, right? Very skinny, very wide. Even though they might be the same distance all the way through, that we'd only figure out if we walked up to the edge and were able to see it as closely as we could see it right here, right? So, over here, over there. I saw that London was here, so hopefully she's gonna save the day. I'll put number 1415 on the home page, because she's awesome. Gonna pull my sand over on this side. Just get it on the edge. I just want to grab a little bit of it. Back in there. I love this little cave. There is something back in there. Something's there. All right, now let's get a little bit of our plaque onto our Paint with Josh bushy brush. Now this is what I do before I use the bush brush. Every time I smush it, I try to flatten it out as flat as possible, right? Real hard on the table, just like that. And that way, it'll get a little bit fatter every time you use it. Right? Before you get to use it, flatten it out on the table like that. When they come straight from the factory, they're going to be like just a little circle, right? So you've got to really break it in. Break it in, mush it around. You're not going to hurt the bristles, I promise. Look, we can make a perfect sun with it just like that, right? That way it'll flatten out a little. Let's get a little of our plaque mix because it's going to stand out away from all of that light color. Maybe back over here there was a whole little set of bushes, right? Just by popping those little guys in, maybe there was a little one right on the edge of the other side. Right? Little things so it's not just a perfect straight line back there. It doesn't look like we came and cut it off. Now we can come back in with Paint with Josh 1-inch brush, add that little bit of darkness, start sliding it out different directions. It starts to project its own little shadow, right? Coming from our faraway bit of our light source back in the distance. Now, we really don't need much else. I'm probably sure you guys are screaming for a cactus, am I right? Has anyone said, throw a cactus in there, we want to see what a cactus looks like? Well, unlucky for you, I don't like cactuses. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. See a werewolf howling on the top of the curtain. I know, right? Just getting up on the top. And just going crazy. It's Does anybody want to see how to make a cactus? Because I can show you. I don't really like putting them in, but especially when they're going to be very far away, I don't mind them, right? I don't mind them at all. They've been screaming, lava! No, this isn't a volcano. Thanks, Connie. It does look like the Devil's Tower with the mothership about to land on the top, right? Those clouds, though, guys. Watching from New York. Thank you. Everybody watching over on YouTube, make sure you give me a thumbs up. That's all you gotta do is click the thumbs up button just one time. That's it. Bang. Done. All you have to do. That'll notify other people that we're doing some cool stuff over here. Now watch. I don't really have the right coloration for cactuses up close, but maybe we can get a little bit of our phthalo green on the one side of our brush, right? Just running our Paint with Josh filbert brush. With our phthalo green on the one side, then we're gonna flip it over. So we're putting our darkness on the other side of the brush. And that way we've got our plaque and our green, right? We're gonna see if this works. We're gonna hold the brush vertically, not on either side flat. We're gonna hold it vertically like this. So when we come down through it, exactly, it's gonna drop green on one side and it's gonna drop our plaque on the other. Now let's not mess it up before we get in there. Green on one side, plaque on the other. And this is just our phthalo green. It's the only one we got for right now, just because I don't want to get out green for the smallest little thing back here. Now watch this. We're gonna put our green side towards the edge. I'll rest my little hand right here, maybe up into the darkness. Bang, pop a little cactus, right? You're not supposed to be able to see them super well if they're very far away. So we're not trying to make it too big. Take our light color. Again, over on this, we don't even really need it for over here. We're gonna push in, right? Hold down. That way you'll have a bit of bright green on one side, a little bit of shadow on the other. That's all you have to do. Load your brush, one side, and then turn it vertically, right? So instead of, we're loading green on this side, black on this side, and then we're turning it so our green deposits on one side and our black deposits on the other. Very, very easily and cool. It just makes the coolest things ever, and it's so simple. Get up in there, push it, pull it down, right? Let's go back and reload our brush each time we're gonna do it. We gotta make sure that we're holding the brush on the correct side as well. Turn it, turn the brush, pop in a little arm. Hey, far away little cactus. They don't all have to have the same arms. And even though I always say you don't always have to make it look the same, I like a cactus with it looks like this, right? It's got one arm on one side, one arm on the other. Don't ask why. Just you've seen a lot of them growing up in Vegas in the desert. Never make them the same distance either. One is above the other always. Come down, cut right through. You got your faraway cactus right there. Very simple, just with the Paint with Josh filbert. You can do it, guys. If I can do it, you can do it. That's the whole point of the brushes and releasing them, right? If I can create something with these brushes and show you exactly how we did it, you can too. I'm not even kidding. You can do it. You can do it. All right, let's get in. We got to wash off our Paint with Josh round brush. And remember, you want to beat the crap out of this brush and make it get flattened out, right? You don't want, at least I don't want, the brush to be like this when it comes from the factory. It's very thin, it's very small and compacted, right? We want it to flare out. So you really got to push on it and just be rough with it. It likes it, don't worry. It likes it. It's got a side to it. But we want to push it, we want to flatten it, and that way it should start to puff out. See the difference? The more you push on it, the more puffier it'll be. And this one's still pretty new. So the more you beat it up, the better looking bushes that we're going to be able to make with it. Okay? Now you can try as hard as you can, because I sure have, to try to bend these bristles in a way that they will not form. They right back to their original position, guys. So let's head over and see what we got over here. Remember, if you like this one, go to PaintWithJosh.com and you guys can have it. All right, let's grab a little of our colors. You know what? Let's get a little of our crazy bright magic fly colors for our highlights over here, okay? I want to get a little of the lighter color green just on the tip of the brush out there, little bit. Okay, we're going to pop in just a few little bits of those guys, not trying to cover up all of my darkness. If you do start covering all of your dark, stop. Don't do any more. Don't add anything else. Just quit it, okay? Now we'll come over here, grab up, let's get a couple colors into this guy. Let's get a little bit of our pink. Oh, the pink is so pretty. It's right out here. Little pink little bits out in the day. Oh, he's gorgeous. Let's get a little bit of our red. Pop it right down underneath. Two little things, literally. A couple little bits of color in our otherwise dreary world. A little bit of our bright yellow that we got over here. Taps, little chip chaps. Popping them in. You can see a little bit more in this guy, right? A little bit more detail in between. And why not? Can we get any of that? Oh, we so can. Get some of that rose color. I love this deep dark thing. It's kind of like a purple. It's kind of like a rose. Honestly, it's like a rose. I'm gonna get a little touch of our pink as well, just to pop in. Bang, bang, bang. A couple little things out there. Woo-hoo-hoo. Now let's go throw in our bit of our sandy technique. That's the whole. Why not 2 palettes? That's the whole fun about it. Is the sand. The sand, Murray with the sand. So let's get out here. You guys know how we do the sand, don't you? If not, I'll teach you. I'll show you every single step of the way. But let me clean a few of these brushes off. And while I'm cleaning off the brushes, you guys got to check in. Tell me where you're watching from. What's your favorite sandwiches? And we'll be done in just a jiff. Totally looking at our Mordor painting that I did. This Cosmic was asking me about it, and I was like, you know what? I like that gorge. I'm gonna try to make that gorge just in oils, and we'll see if we can do it. And that's where this painting sort of was inspired from today. Just fantabulous. Now we can even get up in here too. We got some time. We can throw like a massive rock right here, like it's coming up out of the dirt. You could just throw some sand down and have it look fantastic as well, right? All depends on what you want to do, how you want yours to turn out. Because each time you do it, it's going to be a little bit different. You know, my original thought too was to have the chasm go this way. And I was looking at it and I was like, no, there's going to be more room over here. We can make it go this way. It'd be awesome. And it is. It's awesome. It turned out awesomely. Just fantabulous, like the earth has been ripped apart right here. I dig it. So you guys are gonna have to start coming up with a title for this one, because, man, that's cool. Man alive. Thank you, ASMR Butterfly. Appreciate you. Appreciate it. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So this one, I believe, is still available. I would imagine the mods would have told me so if it was not. And you're not going to find a cooler desert scene than this. Let's get out here. I want to try something cool. Let's get out here. A little bit of our plaque color, since we still have some of it left, right? We'll attempt to use that. And let's say our land, right, all of a sudden took a detour. It was like, that crazy bit. It'll all blend in. We'll have this shadowy section down in here. Just mushing on our black paint, right? Mushing it down, mushing it down. Just to have one more little piece of detail out here in the day, right? Take our little brush, start to slide down very lightly because all that dark color is going to want to slide, right? So more or less, you can slide it from the back side, drag all this light color towards it. Right? Each way, we're pulling a little bit differently. This front side can get a little bit darker. We're going to light it up with our sand anyway. It's fantastic. Okay, now this little guy, since we got some more of that brown color left, let's lighten it up just one more little shade. Maybe one more little shade. There we go. Lighten that guy up like that. He's our closest little rocky deal to us, so we're going to be able to see some stuff, but we're also going to have some really deep, dark shadows in there as well, right? Not every piece of him is going to be covered. You have to have that deep darkness. That's what I like doing. It's making like a little A shape or a V, however you like to look at it. Upside down or backside right or wherever, right? Little thing. Maybe a little darker around the backside, and you can always go back over and cover some of it with your darker paint. Get that little shape in there. It's a weird little thing out in the day. Doesn't have to be perfect. Doesn't have to be the brightest thing that we've ever seen. Just a weird little piece of rock is all. That's it. It's not bothering you. The more we go at a horizontal as well, the more it'll look like it'll feed itself into the ground. You go like that, literally feeding it more and more and more and more and more horizontally, throwing off a little bit of shadow off his backside. Just his little buns. Gotta have a little shadow back there. Lift it up out of the ground. Literally lifting it out of the ground. Very lightly, we're gonna drag it into our sand. Very lightly, we're gonna drag our shadows back off into the night. Back here, back there. Wherever you want it to be. Very cool. Very simple. Now, let's get a very small little fan brush. All right, I like the little Gap Doctors for this. They're very small, they're very flicky. We're gonna take our odorless mineral spirits, right? We dunked it in, full brush tip into the odorless mineral spirits, and that way it starts running. As soon as you start pushing on it, you get all this wetness, right? Now we're going into our Van Dyke brown, which is a darker color brown, going to deposit it right out onto the edge out here, and let's start flicking in little dark bits, right? Little bits of sand here, there, and everywhere. Now we don't need it to be too thick. Doesn't need to be overly saturated with colors or anything like that. We're going to go into another little bit of our odorless mineral spirits. Shake off the brush, but don't dry it off. Come over here into our yellow ochre-y color. Dabbing it down just a little bit, just to thin it, right? So it becomes easier to then flick off of our brush and turn into these little sandy bits. The further away we get, the less we need, right? Closer to us, the more we can cake them on there. More and more and more like little sandy bits. Oh, I'm starting to like that. I'm starting to like that. Now let's see what just a little flick of our liquid white will do. Just a little touch of our liquid white as we come out here. Just there it is. Smallest little flick. Boom, 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 boom. Bang, right? Little bits out in the day. Little pieces of rock, little things, little something or others that are happening out there. Now these guys, because they're so light, you can literally drag them away. Bang, 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 bang. This guy going off to the edge. This guy, this guy, this guy. Fantastic. Man, that's cool. That's cool, man. I like it. Let's get in here like this too. You can really make them go away. Get in there with your finger and mess them all up. It just mixes again with all the other colors. Where we don't want to see them. Mix it, mix it, mix it, mix it, and mix it away. Finger painting with Josh. That's how we do it. Just like that. Trust me, it's going to add a really cool little feel to your next painting. Try it out, guys. Try it out. That's really neat. I like that. Now, I'm going to go slightly over these guys just to cover up the fact that we sprayed it with sand. We probably should have done the sand first and then gone back over with this, but very cool. I like it. I like that. All right, now, oh, it's so neat. So stinking neat. Little bits out there tonight. Oh, man. The more little sandy pieces you do, just the cooler it looks, I'm telling you. Just telling you from experience, just the cooler it's going to turn out to be. So, you guys got to start coming up with a title for this one. I got like 3-4 brushes to clean off. And then we're going to choose a title. If you end up grabbing this one during the live show from PaintWithJosh.com, then you get to choose its title. You get to pick its name forever. So if you think you've got the best title ever, you're just going to have to go grab this painting, and then you can decide and tell me what to write down. Speaking of which, if you've noticed the balloons in the back, we've surpassed 500,000 followers on TikTok. It's amazing. We have that many followers over there. We're over 737,000 followers on Instagram. It's crazy. It's literally crazy. We got one more brush to clean. So I hope you guys are coming up with some good ones. Come up with those good titles. Remember, you get a chance at a free gift as well. If you buy this painting during the live show, you get a chance at a free gift. And who doesn't love free gifts? The last time we spun the wheel, it hit the grand prize. Just saying. Just saying. Out here in the day. Hey, this one's sold. No way! That's amazing. Look at that sand, you guys. Oh, I can't wait to start pulling video clips from this video. I cannot wait. Hey, baby! This one's home. We found a home forever. And what am I doing? I'm gonna put this over here. Last time. Hey, everybody. So, what are we going to call this one? It looks like Lynn is going to get to choose the title. So, Lynn, my gal, you have the distinction of picking the name for this wicked awesome desert painting. It's been like, what, 3 years since I painted a desert scene that I actually really liked. And this one of my best, I would say. Let's come up here and throw the birds just way in the sky. And just caw when you put them in. Look at that Paint with Josh liner brush, dude. Such a fine line, such a thin bit of bristles. Ooh, baby. 6 weeks, guys. 6 weeks until Paint with Josh brushes come out. I'm telling you, if you're not signed up for updates by now, then I don't know what you're waiting for. Literally coming down to it. The release of the Paint with Josh brush line. It's gonna be oh, we didn't sign it. Went through the whole thing. Cleaned the brush and everything. Didn't sign it. It's gonna be fantastic. Let me finish what I was saying there. Fantastic, everybody. Oh, it's gorgeous. It's gorgeous. Look at that thing. I gotta wash the brush off and dry it again. Now, this is very important. If you're watching right now and you plan on getting the Paint with Josh brush set, right? It's going to be coming out soon. This is what I do, right? We pull out the liner brush. It looks very much like this. It's all pinned together, very straight, right? Very thin, very small. And what I do is kind of do this. Just whack it back and forth until it dries, right? Once it's all dry, it will flare out and have a little... There we go, exactly. See the difference? Comes out a little flared like that. That's all you gotta do to have them be dry, right? I want all those bristles to be as dry as possible so I know that they're not gonna stick together and dry hard, right? When they dry hard, then you can't use the brush anymore. So, make sure that you're drying out your bristles, especially when there's only like 30 bristles in that whole brush, right? There's a very small amount of bristles in that brush, so make sure you're getting them all dry, and that way your brush will stay nicer longer. Let's get out here. Okay, what are we gonna choose for a title? Lynn. Linny Lynn Linners. Desert Sunset. I dig that. Very to the point. Very much, hey, this is what we're calling it. The Desert Sunset. We're gonna have to finish the edges and the top for you as well, Lynn. So, thank you guys all for watching. It's been fantastic. All of your title suggestions were amazing. And perhaps Lynn had her own title already selected. Come down here, sign this little guy, and then we'll say goodbye to everybody, right? Over here, this one's number 1415, and it's called Desert Sunset. Boom. I dig it. Painted on 7/29 of 2024. And we're all going to go to Paint with Josh. I had to say it, otherwise I was going to write the other one. PaintWithJosh.com. Perfect, everybody. Now, let's get our little brush. A little more brownage. A little brownery. Finish the edges over here. Finish the whole top. Get Lynn looking nice and fabulous. And then we'll get it drying, and then we'll get it over to you just as fast as we possibly can. This is the dangerous part, guys. Always be careful when you're holding it, especially when it's wet. Boom, 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 boom. All right, now you got a nice painted top. Gorgeous. Matches all of our coloration. Turned out amazing. Lynn's awesome. So let's say goodbye to the Facebook and the YouTube camera, and then we'll do all the light party and the spinning of the wheel. The spinning of the wheel. That's going to be the best part, in my opinion. Okay, so I can't wait to see your guys' versions from Facebook and YouTube. Send them in to facebook.com/officialpaintwithjosh. I can't wait to see it. And until I see you guys again next time, take care. Hey, the rest of a good day, and boom, as they say. Let's get them out of here, guys. All right. Wicked cool. All right, so Lynn had an awesome title. She got a wicked cool painting. I have not done a desert scene like this ever in my life that I like so much. So we're gonna spin you guys around just real quick. Don't get scared. I know, it's crazy. Spin you around. There we go. Just like that. Look at that thing. Just not the most gorgeousest. I think it is. Let's see if I can get you guys on. There we go. Little rock projection. So cool. So stinking neat. Well, thanks, Julie. Appreciate you. Thank you, Wanda. TMH says, wow. Look at this guy. And you can go learn to do it on YouTube, too. Look at that little guy. A little greenery on our little cactuses back here. I like my one little single that doesn't even have any arms. Just one single silhouette of a cactus back there. This is a 16 by 20 inch. 16 by 20 is the size. So let's check over here. It did have a few frame options, but I don't know if you grabbed it with the frame or not the frame, and just the canvas on its own, which you could easily go frame it at, go to Michael's or Hobby Lobby or whatever. And they've got some cool stuff over there. Ba-boom. Yeah, just the canvas. Okay. So yeah, if you did want to get a frame, you go to Michael's and you search for 16 by 20. It's the most popular, literally the most popular frame size there is, for paintings anyway, right? You go bigger, you get less selections. You go smaller, you get less selections. 16 by 20, there's literally 50, 60 different frames at the store that'll fit this painting. So you'll be there forever. Lynn, do you follow me over on Facebook? Because I'm going to take an up-close image and crop it out and do all that stuff, and then I'm going to put it on Facebook. So if you're over there, you'll be able to like screenshot the image and then know what you're looking for when you get to the store, right? I need to add a few more little specks right here. There we go. To help those ones that we had to brush over, so we had to add a couple more. Just a couple in there. Okay, so we do check me out over on Diamond Art, like Cosmic is saying. I appreciate that. Thank you for reminding me. I think we mentioned it earlier in the show as well. I got 2 kits over there. They're coming out with another one in October. Both of the kits have already sold out and come back in stock once already. So make sure you get yours before they go out of stock again. And then you're sat there wondering, why aren't there any Paint with Josh Diamond Art kits, man? Because they're freaking popular and people are getting them. I'll probably be sending this one into Diamond Art too, just to see if they like it. We'll see. I'm probably going to do another version of this too. You guys know me. As soon as I do one that I really like, I'm like, I got to do it again. And then I got to do a bigger version of it. I got to do, 6 or 7 different times. Really like that bluff. Sand, the rock. I like how far away all the vegetation is so you don't really focus on it. Fantastic. So definitely going to have to do it again. Probably multiple times. Probably multiple times. There we go. But I'll, if you follow me over on Facebook, I will be... So, rainforest? Oh, it hurts my heart because I'm from the desert. But I've done one over on my YouTube channel. If you want to learn how to paint it, you can go scroll down, check it out. I got to get the wheel. Scroll down, check it out, and I can teach you how to do it. But I loathe the jungle. Oh, my shirt decided to come along with it. That's Billy's shirt, actually. Boom! All right, guys. So, we got the old wheel out, and Lynn, since she purchased the painting during the show, she gets her chance at the spinny winny wheel, of course. So, it's okay, Sarah, it's all right. So, Lynn, I'm going to spin it around, and whatever it lands on, you get to win, right? But sometimes it lands on, Paint with Josh wins. And that can happen. So, here we go. Let's see what we're going to do with the old spinny winny wheel. Zip. Oh no, I feel it. Oh, lucky you. You get to spin again. I love this wheel. The best 75 bucks I ever spent. Oh, are you kidding? All right, we're gonna start it off that. There we go. Let's see what we got going. Zane, you missed a good one. Hey, Paint with Josh drinking glass. So, Lynn, do you prefer the pint glass or do you prefer the wine glass? Where I have both versions, and we can get you either one of them. But you gotta let me know which one. Thank you for signing up, Julie. 6 month subscriber, girl. Thank you, I appreciate it. She's 27 out of 33, guys. If we could just get to that subscription goal, I don't even know what happens next after you reach the goal. What happens after that? No idea. No idea. So, Lynn, you still here? Thank you, Zane. Appreciate it. Came out really neat. Got a cool little chasm rocking down the side. Just like it just split. Big old projection of rock right in there. So, Lynn, did you want the pint glass or did you want the wine glass? Because you won the drinking glass from Paint with Josh as your free gift. For purchasing during the show, you get a free gift off the wheel. We spun it, landed on the glass. So, it's more like a glass you would get at BJ's, you know what I mean? Or like a restaurant. Normally put stuff that's made of hops. I don't even know if you can say that word on here. But, or do you want a wine glass? Right, the little wine glasses are a little short thing. It'll say Paint with Josh along the side. And, or the taller glasses have picture of me on it. Depends on which one you want, but that's your free gift. So, let us know or let one of the mods know. And, yeah, it's been an awesome show. Cool little desert scene. And... Jackie, I am 39. I'm getting so old. Gross. I feel like I'm 17 now. So thank you. Appreciate it. Whoop. Almost fell. All right, so young fella. Man. All right, I'm going to go take a up-close photo of this one. We'll get it out on Facebook so you guys can see it. Zoom in every detail. It's going to be fabulous. God, I almost want to just love it. All right, we're getting out of here. Love you guys. I can't wait to come back and we'll do it again. Maybe we'll do this again. Or maybe a different backdrop. I don't know. Cosmic sent me a picture of the fires in Colorado. I almost want to do something like that. Big old raging cloud coming off of a far off foothill or something. But I don't know. We'll figure it out. In any case, it's freaking hot, dude. If I come back at all. Then, yeah, it's been amazing though. Excellent. Thank you, Lynn. You're always awesome. I am overheating, I think. So, I'm going to get out of here. I love you guys. I can't wait to come back. We'll do it again either later on tonight or Thursday. I'll come back, and it'll be my normal day back. So, can't wait. Love you. And until I see you guys again next time, take care.